Alright, so I've been playing Minecraft for, a little bit of time now, like many years. And over the time, I've discovered some odd things that really don't make sense. Now, I just want to say, I'm not like making fun of Minecraft. None of these things are like a big deal in the Minecraft gameplay, but I'm just, making a video just to poke fun at the things. Because they're funny. So one thing that doesn't make sense to me is world generation. Like, most of the world generation is pretty fine. But then you have things like this. And you also have things like villages with ravines in them. Like, if you're a farmer, you just can't access your garden. Like, the pathway leads all the way down here. And of course, the floating water. Alright, so we all know the typical, you place down a piston, and then you put a block of redstone next to it. And, it activates. But did you know that if you put one above like that, it stays activated? Like, somehow, like, there's clearly space in between, but somehow it stays activated, like there's still power to it. And then another funny part is if you break it, like, it just stays activated then. So now you just have an activated piston. Like, you can see, there's no redstone under activating it. And then I just break it, why? Alright, so as you see, there is a block of lava right there, and I have a bucket in my hand, and so apparently I can pick up the molten hot lava with the bucket, and it does not burn the bucket, like the bucket holds the lava. But when you throw the bucket into the lava, it just burns. Like, what? Alright, so which one do you think is more deadly? The pool of lava, or the cactus? Well, what's funny to me is how they made netherite, like it doesn't burn in lava. Like, I go in there and pick it back up again. Like, it just doesn't burn like most items do. See, it just floats there. But the moment that you throw it into a cactus, it's gone. Like, it just disappears. Like, yeah. Like, it's just gone. So campfires, they can cook your food, they can do all sorts of things. And they also deal damage to you, which makes a whole lot of sense because it's a campfire. But the big, massive death saw does no damage to you. Like, I remember when this very first came out, I thought, okay, it would deal damage to you, but, no. Yeah, somehow the big, massive saw just, it doesn't hurt you one bit. Kind of weird to me. Alright, so anvils. They're known to be quite heavy, like you place them, and they fall, just like they should. They also will fall into water, like right through it. But just like every other block in Minecraft, you toss it in the water and it floats. Like, okay. Alright, so the wheat block. It's, it's wheat. You wouldn't expect wheat to hold, a lot of weight. Like, it can't, like, hold any weight at all because it's wheat. But, of course, with a very heavy anvil, you can place an anvil on top. Like, multiple. Like, as many as you want. And nothing will happen to the small wheat stack. That does not make sense at all. Alright, so this one's with the lead. So if we put the lead on Jeb _ here, what's funny is while the lead is still attached to me, I can, like, hold the items. Like, I can hold a grass block while the lead is still attached to me. Like, it looks like it's attached to my hand, but it's really just attached to my waist. So yeah, if you really think about it, the lead is actually attached to your waist, not your hand. So, I bet you didn't know that. The good old enchantment table. It's very useful. You can put your netherite sword in there, and you can enchant things. It's very nice. But I find it funny that you use this to disenchant something. Like, you put it in there and disenchant it. Like, you're basically scraping the enchantment off with a stone. I don't know, I just find it funny how you could just scrape off an enchantment on a stone just by rubbing it on a stone. What do you want? Alright, so we have a chicken here, and if we light it on fire, then it dies and it gives you cooked chicken. Sounds pretty alright to me. But I find it funny that whenever the chicken dies on the campfire, it gives you raw chicken. Like, it's dying on the campfire, still a fire, and it gives you raw chicken anyway, so that doesn't really make sense. So the pressure plate and the carpet, both very similar objects. One triggers redstone, one is just for decoration. But if you place the carpet in the water, it gets destroyed instantly. But when you place the pressure plate under there, nothing happens. It's just kind of weird to me. Also with the carpet, if you click it really fast, like in a perfect timing, you can make this. Just a carpet on top of water, like, that's kind of weird. So now we're on to the aquatic update. It was pretty cool when it came out. Like, we got pirate ships and lots of new fish, too. And the fish are pretty cool and all, but I still find it funny that when you cast a fishing rod, like, you don't catch actual fish. Yeah, I can still catch a fish. Alright, so one thing that really doesn't make sense to me a whole lot about Minecraft is, you know, I'm falling from the sky right now, but I mean, that makes a lot of sense. But what doesn't make sense is, how did I get a score of 268? I've been playing Minecraft for many years and I still have never figured out what that means. Like it just doesn't make sense to me at all. You know, another thing that's funny about Minecraft is if you're falling from a very high place, you can place a water bucket, apparently, and it'll somehow stop you from dying. Like in real life, I don't think that's quite how it works, you know? Like you drop like 1,000 feet down into, what, like a few feet of water. So even though it's not particularly realistic, it's still a great feature because, I mean, it saves me from dying, so yeah. Alright, so when you have a beacon with haste 2, you can mine things pretty quickly, and it's a pretty nice feature to have, you know? But for some reason with glass, it goes a lot slower than, you know, it originally would. Even though I have haste, like, it still doesn't really do much. Even though it's glass. Like, if anything, you would think it'd break much faster, but no. Alright, so furnaces are pretty self-explanatory, you know? You put the, you know, food in and you cook it, and you get the cooked food from it. But not the same case when you're trying to make a cake. And for some reason, you could just mash the wheat, the sugar, the egg, and the milk, and just mash them all together, and somehow you get a cake out of it. Like, you don't have to bake it or anything. Alright, so villagers. They seem to be fine with their houses. These small little houses, I mean, the size of this, like, you know, is all a villager really needs in their life. But the pillagers, on the other hand, for some reason need all this mansion of a house. Like, how come the villagers, the innocent villagers, have tiny houses when the pillagers are supposed to be the bad guys, and yet they have the ginormous mansion? Like, it is really cool and all, but, like, it's so unnecessary. Like, it just makes you think, like, why do they even need all this? Oh yeah, so they can have their giant statues of themselves. Did you know that it takes longer to break a cobweb with your fist than it does to break a tree with your fist? Like, I can break an entire tree faster than a cobweb. Like, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Alright, so we all know the whole, you know, you could just climb up waterfalls thing. Like, get in a waterfall and you can just climb right up it. But one thing I've never thought about is how, like, weird it is that you could just climb up a waterfall. Like, I bet you can't do that in real life at all. Because, you know, water's going down. You can't swim up the water. But, I mean, you can in Minecraft, apparently. Because it's Minecraft. Why couldn't you? Alright, so we all know the fact that Endermen aren't the biggest fan of water. Like, you spawn them in, and they don't like the water. But if you put an Enderman inside of a cauldron, they're just as happy as they can be. Alright, so everyone knows you could just walk right through a, you know, too high space, no problem. You could even put a carpet through, and you could still walk through, no problem. But if you put a fence gate there, and then you put a carpet on top, you cannot walk through it. Like, you will not walk through it. No matter how hard you try, you will not walk through it. It's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't make sense at all, but also it could be a funny prank to pull on your friends. That's only if you have any friends. So yeah, back to the whole wheat thing again. Yeah, you could have an entire stack of sand onto a wheat and nothing happens, and also an entire anvil stack on wheat and still nothing happens. Yet just me standing on wheat breaks it instantly. I don't know if I'm just that fat or what. So we all know the whole thing where if you stand on magma blocks, you take damage. Like normal. But I've never understood the whole mechanic where if you crouch, you don't take any damage at all. Like, I don't really know what crouching does for you. Like, it doesn't make a difference. You're just crouching. I don't know how you don't take damage, but I mean, alright, I'll take it. So think about this. In real life, you can only milk a cow so much before it just runs out of milk. But not in Minecraft. You can milk a cow as many times as you want. See, my inventory is almost full of milk, and you could do it literally an infinite amount of times. Like, just think about that for a second. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, how? Alright, so the flower pot and the lantern. Both pretty similar in size of items, you know. But one floats, and one doesn't. Makes no sense to me, but I mean, alright. Alright, so those are just a few things I've noticed over time that are a little bit off of Minecraft. But still, very, very great game. If there's anything I missed, make sure to tell me in the comments below, because then I could do a part 2 maybe. But that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe, please. It would help me out so much. Like, more than you would think. Like, really, really, it does. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.